Okay, everyone, good morning. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Today we're going to be covering angle measures and angle bisectors. Okay, so to start off, let's read the learning objective for today. It is students are able to construct an angle using a compass and a straight edge. 2, students are able to characterize and identify angles. And 3, students are able to construct angle bisectors. Okay, so just to start off, does anyone know what an angle bisector is? Or can someone throw out some ideas about an angle bisector? What do we know about that? Go ahead, Payson. Yes, angle bisector is something that it cuts an angle in half, right? So that's what we're going to be covering today, how to construct that. We're going to have an angle and we're going to try to construct an angle bisector, cutting the angle into 2 different angles and those measurements being the same. Can anyone give me when it says characterize and identify angles, what do you think it's talking about here? Go ahead, Amir. Yes, so identifying angles. So either we're going to be characterizing them, either it's acute, right angle, obtuse, or a straight angle, right? And then identifying these angles by their names. Okay, so we'll cover that more and we'll go into more detail about what we need, like the vertex and what that is and what it looks like, okay? So let's go ahead and begin with the first activity. Okay, so before we begin the lesson and before we begin reading more into depth in this section, I want you guys to complete this activity. It's called an anticipation guide. Okay, so I have 5 statements listed on the paper that you have in front of you. Okay, it's also listed here on the smartboard. Now what I want you to do is individually answer these, or not answer, but what you're going to do is you're going to put a plus sign by those statements that you agree with, and then if you do not agree with them, you're going to put a negative sign next to that statement. Okay, so go ahead and read through these 5 on your own and answer if you're going to have a positive, which you agree, or a negative sign, which you disagree. Go ahead and do that. Okay, great. It looks like everyone is finished. So what I want you to do is, with your partners, people around you, go ahead and talk about what you guys thought. Throw out ideas of what you guys think each statement is saying and why you agree or why you disagree. Go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's bring it together as a class and let's talk about what you guys thought, okay? So the first statement is, an angle bisector divides an angle into 2 angles that have the same measurement. So with raising your hand, I want whoever thought that this statement is true or you agreed with it, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, good. Everyone raising their hand, everyone should agree with that, right? We just talked about angle bisector, which is a ray that is going to split an angle in half, creating 2 different angles, and those 2 angles are going to have the same measurement. Okay, good. Number 2, angle PQR is the same angle as RQP. If you agree with this statement, raise your hand. Okay, good. Keenan, why do you think, or why do you agree with this statement? Good. So you can have 2 different titles of the name as long as you have what in the middle? The Q. And the Q is the vertex. Okay? It's the vertex. We'll go more into depth in that when we get into the lesson. Okay? 3. An acute angle is greater than 90 degrees. If you agree with this statement, raise your hand. Good. No one should have, raise their hand for this one. Why not? Somebody throw out an idea for me. David? Yes, because if it's greater than 90 degrees and less than what? 180, it is what? Exactly, an obtuse angle. An obtuse angle. So acute is any angle that is between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. Good. Can somebody tell me what a 90-degree angle is? What's the title? Yes. A right angle. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so let's go. Let's move on to the next one. If S is the interior of angle PQR, then the measurement of angle PQR equals the measurement of angle PQS plus the measurement of angle SQR. So this has a lot in it, so let's draw a visual so that we can actually see what they're talking about. Okay, so we have angle we're having a little malfunction with the smartboard, but if we were, let's draw it here. Okay, so if we have this, and we have angle PQR, and we have S as the interior, it is saying that this measurement here of that angle plus the measurement of that angle equals this whole angle. Okay? So, those of you who agree with this statement, go ahead and raise your hand. Good. Everyone should have raised their hand for this one. Okay? Because the measurement of the smaller angle plus the smaller angle is going to equal the measurement of the big angle. Okay? And we'll go more into this postulate in the lesson. Okay, last one, 5. 150 degrees is an obtuse angle. What did we say was an obtuse angle? We just covered this. Eli? Yes, any angle between 90 degrees and 180 is going to be an obtuse angle. So, who agrees with this statement? Raise your hand. Perfect. Perfect. So, this activity was just to get a little introductory into the lesson that we will be covering today. Okay, so let's move on.